From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Coming up, another installment of the NFL International Series, and it should be a great one, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Armadillos of Mexico City. On the visitors' sideline, Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald. These guys come in here winners of 2 straight. On the other side, the head coach of the home team. These guys came up short on the road last week. Now they're trying to turn things around in front of the home crowd here.
Falcons, darling, so good. And then
the calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And now how about this return? Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be let out by their 6-year quarterback.
Well, the silver lining from last week, he played phenomenally, kept the ball clean, and led them to the end zone several times. You know these NFL quarterbacks, though, they trade away all those touchdowns if it meant getting the win. That's his focus this week.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. You talk about this Seahawk defense. This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 7. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll go as a gain of 4. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
He'll try to pick it up himself. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 in the first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Throwing Nix. They'll follow the man over the middle. 2-2 out route. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Give up the middle, Scatterboo. Pass the 20. 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Cam Scatterboo, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Armadillos will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a very solid return out across the 45-yard line before going out of bounds. come the Seahawks now for their first drive. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10.
Ready.
Now back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Viking 18. Hey, smash Bronco. Ready.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
It's a gain of 6.
Here we go. Back.
Seattle.
Cowboy 80. Let's go.
He'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Second and 10. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Nix from the shotgun. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. You talk about this Seahawk defense. They enter this one down to the 26th position in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Now, quick throw there is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Through the middle of the field. Touchdown! Big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Armadillos have taken a 13-0 first-quarter lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. The ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
He went all the way into the end zone. Now the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Seahawks offense led by their running back headed out for the second possession. And he's been one of the most consistent pieces of their offense all year long, no doubt. Shouldn't be much of a surprise then to see him among the league leaders in rushing here late in the season. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's second down.
Well, if the goal is to get back into this game, the offense is certainly moving in the wrong direction. This is certainly a case where one team needs big splash plays right now, but unfortunately, it's the other team that's getting them.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Okay, ready?
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Pass the 60, pass the 60.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. They'll try and do this himself. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. The Armadillos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession. And he's come out of the gates hot. He's been on target with his throws, and that's reflected in the numbers as he'll look to keep it going here. First down, here's Scatterby. And they're knocking on the door now. As a good run there, going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 61 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
So they run the option here on 1st and 10. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, the risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the...
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Armadillos take a 3-touchdown lead. So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be a possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of first at the 32.
An 8-yard gain. It's 4th down.
Mustang 19. Buffalo 18.
21-0 our score after 1. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. They're going to try and throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
Here we go, here we go. Cowboy 80.
Hands it off out of the gun. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for him on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. The best starting field position you could possibly have. 1st and goal from the 1. Scatteroo is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. But they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. The jet sweep is that well. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try...
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Armadillos are able to add on to their first-half lead.
Glad I can play it again,
It's
though.
not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And, CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away, but this one might be over by halftime.
And since you already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
Extra point right down the middle. And it is 28-0.
Seahawks, nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Back to something.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
A gain of 4. It's now
They'll drop the throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. On 3rd down, he'll drop the throw. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. He'll try and run for it. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or two. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Almost. Ready.
To throw is Nix. He'll dump this off to Scatterbury. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 5 at the 29-yard line.
Zone read here. It's Scatterbury with it. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Almost.
Slot man moves right.
Ready. 180.
To throw, here's Nix. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And they run the option on 2nd down. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, He committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Ready.
Now it's Nix. Touchdown! A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Armadillos have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, I give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
And now it's blocked. And the Seahawks have it. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Let me run this back.
Well,
Come
times
on.
have definitely changed on the PAT on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. Before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it's really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spend a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
Oh, look at the juke. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
First down, Seahawks.
Here we go. Start. 19, Charger. 19. Ready.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Okay, break.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Here we go. Here we go. Cougar 19. Pick up.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Cougar 19. On the ready. Set. Hurt. Hurt. Get up. Ready.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
Okay, ready.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Check pass. Let's put.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do hit...
And for the 3rd time here, this hand is intercepted. Picked up by Christian Harris. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking up one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season, and add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
The Armadillos offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Here's Nix. Open man is Atwell, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there and a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So that flag will set him back 5 yards. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Nix to the air. Right back to Atwell. That's complete.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 46-yard line.
So halftime straight ahead, and that means we go to Scott Hanson. It is our EA Sports Halftime Report. Scott, take it away.
Our journey around the NFL starts now. 2 AFC North teams with no love lost. And this is Xavier Worthy.
The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he's been a tough guy to contain this year, and his numbers reflect that, as you can see right here. Oh, and Nelson's placed upright. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. And his fine afternoon on the ground continues. That last run going to put him over 100 yards for the ball game. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one maybe was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out, had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Ready,
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. 115 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. 2nd down and 4. Looking to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
First down, Seattle.
Get it. Ready.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
Ready. 60 Eagles. 60 Eagles.
Now a first carry here for the running back. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
And maybe that's the magic touch right there. They didn't use him at all in the first half, at least running the football. But here they entrust him with some work down in the red zone, and he responds. What?
Entering settings screen, you have 28 options. Menu narration Menu narration set to 70.
Carry, 1 touchdown.
Makes the score.
Extra point put through by Boswell.
Seahawks
And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out is Mexico City now to go on offense. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Mexico City, first down.
Ready.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Nix. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
48-yard line.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Gonna throw right side here, complete. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Oh, my son! Ready!
They'll run from the gun with Scatterbury. Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Second down at 6 now.
4 yards on the pickup.
Oh, my son!
Second and 6.
Motion man right, that's Pierce. Throwing Nix. Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Alec Pierce, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Armadillos are pouring it on. On the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ballgame.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Now the try here for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was capped off by a touchdown catch from Alec Pierce. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
The 22-yard line.
Ready!
Back to throw here. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Cut it. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Ready.
On third down, they're going for it here. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
First down, Seahawks.
He'll look to throw. Able to find Higgins. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. He's having a big game running the football, but that will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Still just a 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it here. He's taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And the Seahawks, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Mexico City. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ready, break! Let's go! 60 by 60.
They go play action here on 1st down. Can't get away, and he's taken down. That will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
19, 18.
Back to throw. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The offense on 3rd down, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 19. They'll set up to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Ready! Cougar 19.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Scannaboo going to run it out of the gun. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
Brought down at the 35-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Second and 6. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And a short gain down to about the 33.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
McKinnon here is complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Almost set. Ready.
Working out of the gun is Nix. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
The slot man in motion right. Operating from the gun. Nix. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
They'll start on the ground with Scannaboo. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. They'll try and run here with Scannaboo. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
3rd down and 10.
Cowboy 80. Ready.
Now back to throw.
Now he's going to step up and run.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And this would have been returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. An inside run with Scatterboard. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Ready. 180. Wait, hot.
On the handoff, this is Scottaboo. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Hold on, son. Ready. 180, son.